days after the World Trade Center, they had an earthquake in New York, in the most remote place. Why would God, who controls earthquakes, if the men brought the towers down, but who brings earthquakes? So why would God put an earthquake in New York City 3 days after the World Trade while these people were in grief? Why, y'all? You know why? Because they forgot who did it. They forgot why it was done. They didn't read in the Bible, in Revelations, about in the 18th chapter, when it talks about the tower falling. They didn't read when it says he has two names. In Hebrew it's Abaddon, and in Greek it's APOLLYON, and that's in 9:11 in the book of Revelation. Two names, but both names mean destruction. They didn't read when it says they'll be standing off from afar, seeing the smoke of her burning. Because in 1 hour, so great a nation has become naught. What does God mean by that? In the book of Revelation, back in John's time, way back on the hours of Patmos while in prison. What do you mean by that in 1 hour? So great a nation. You know why? Because up until that day, America could boast, I ain't never been hit. They were the greatest nation, but every other part of the world had war on their soil. But America was able to boast, we ain't never been struck. Then within 1 hour, so great a nation was brought down to naught. Your father, and to seal it with a kiss, God put an earthquake right in front of you. I told people years ago, I know y'all happy up here. I know y'all like the access to the stores across the street and all the junk. It's time to move. We may have to live in tents, bungalows. We may have to live on the floor. We may have to live on top of each other. But when God told the children of Israel to get up and move them tents, they went. When God told them to go, they went. Where God told them to go, they went. And they was out there in the wilderness saying, come on, manna, manna, manna. You know, when am I going to get some fried chicken and some tater salad? Ain't that us? God said, move, we move. They wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. You ain't been out here for 8 years. I'm saying, and the prophecies just now happening when you are starting to get weak in the knees. When all you've been studying all these years for is manifesting in front of you, you're now walking around the right people. You know what I mean by that? You're the people walking around saying, I knew this all the time. I showed it to you in one of my books back 5 years ago. Whop, look at this. 2 towers come down. We knew this. You know how we knew this? Because we had a man of God with us. Let me straighten that up. Let me straighten that up. I didn't say we had God with us. I said we had a man of God with us. A man that can die like a man. I know that, if you don't now. When death was knocking upon my door, I knew it. You hear me? And with that gift of discerning of spirits and the gift of speaking in languages, I'm able to translate things for you so you can get the hidden meanings of them. Because the devil holding your tongue, but he couldn't hold my tongue. So I can bring it to you and break it down in Greek and Hebrew and Egyptian and Sumerian so that you be right and exact at all times. And nobody out there can come up against you. If you've been studying the doctrine from the time I've been teaching you, nobody can stand against you. Now you got to know what to do with it. Now you got to go out and you got to save souls. You got to become fishers of men. Are you with me? Yeah. I'm launching around that point because you got to know why things are happening the way you've been happening over there. You want to talk to me about the Twin Towers? Yes, I prophesied the Twin Towers since 1979.
That's right. That's right.
But I was crazy. That man is crazy. Don't listen to him. I got more telephone calls this week than I ever got. So I just cut the phone off. Call and you see, it'll say, this line has been disconnected. You wasn't with me when you thought I was crazy, but now you want me to tell you what's the next thing that's going to happen in the world. I'm waiting for the Spirit to move me, and you waiting for, what's that, Brian McKnight to move you. I'm waiting for the ghost to tell me this is the next thing to tell my people.